being here. I'd like to start off by firstly expressing our concern to all the hard-working South Africans out there, business owners, people trying who essentially had the rug pulled out from under their feet at one of the most critical, important times of the year for them. Our thoughts are with them, and their concerns are exactly the ones that we are taking up. So yesterday evening, President Ramaphosa's government made history again for all the wrong reasons by moving into an unprecedented stage 6 of load shedding, leading to rolling blackouts across South Africa. This unprecedented stage 6 rolling blackout means that South Africa's economy is now firmly on its knees and in the grip of a state monopoly that is clearly not serving South Africa and not leading to energy security. Now, while President Ramaphosa is in Egypt, surrounded by ruins from a bygone era, we stand here today in front of another ruin from a bygone era, state-owned entity Eskom behind us. One that faces an imminent collapse, as we've seen yesterday, and one which is in its current form hurtling towards a situation that's going to throw South Africa's economy over the precipice through rolling blackouts and repeated cycle of electricity crises with no political will to make the hard decisions that are going to be required to turn it around. And it's telling that at the height of what is probably one of our most significant crises this year, which poses a very clear and present danger to the economic well-being of our country and our growth and to jobs, the President decided to fly out of the country yesterday evening on a sojourn to Egypt. The President is greatly mistaken if he believes that crises like this can be solved via cell phone or via his iPad. These require on-the-ground leadership here on home soil in South Africa. It requires decisive, just the platitudes we've had for the last 4 years. The devastating effect of these rolling blackouts on industry, on mining, on retail, and on the hundreds of thousands of ordinary business owners in South Africa, not to mention the massive inconvenience to many South Africans, are a clear and present danger to the economic well-being of our country. And therefore today we reiterate the call for the President to return from Egypt and to come and take personal charge of this crisis here. He needs to provide leadership here in South Africa. For that reason, we're calling on him to address Parliament, to be able to take us into the confidence and the people's representatives into his confidence about what is really going on. Because I don't think that South Africans are being given the full story. We've moved from wet coal to broken conveyor belts to panels that have had overloaded, and we're not hearing any concrete reasons why we are now in this crisis. It's time now for the President to level with the people of South Africa about what is really going on and about what we can expect to do. It's very clear as well that the President could show his leadership and seriousness of the situation by removing Minister Gwede Mantashe, who today is the largest obstacle to electricity sustainability in South Africa and sustainability of supply, and remove them. So while we've got a President next to the Nile, we've got a Minister of Energy who is in denial and unable to deal with even the most basic elements of his portfolio. I've today written to the Speaker of the National Assembly, the Honourable Thandi Modise, and I've requested her to recall Parliament so that the President can take the people's representatives into his confidence about what is actually going on and what his government is going to do to solve this crisis in South Africa. It is unconscionable that while the lights are off in South Africa, the people's representatives in Parliament are not there lighting the way forward out of this crisis. Now yesterday the President said, and I quote, "The energy challenges in this country will not be resolved overnight," unquote. But the real tragedy is there is so much we could be doing as a country immediately to resolve this crisis. The most efficient and immediate step is using Section 34 of the Electricity Regulation Act. which allows the Minister of Mineral Resources and Energy to issue a determination that will allow qualifying municipalities to bypass Eskom and procure power directly from independent power producers. Contrary to the President's views, this can be done overnight and will go a long way to resolving and energy shortages and pressure on the grid. Introducing independent power producers into the mix is now more essential than ever before. It is a necessity. Right now, Minister Mantashe is sitting with over 17 such applications in terms of Section 34 on his desk. By signing just one of them, the signal to the market will be massive and will lead to a huge flow of interest in independent power producers. What the President must do is instruct the Minister to sign these within the next 48 hours so we can start to bring some stability. In terms of DA-led governments, I will be communicating with all mayors of DA-run municipalities and asking them to write to the Minister to ensure that their applications for Section 34 determination be granted with immediate effect. The DA-led City of Cape Town has already taken Minister Mantashe to court to compel him to sign these agreements so that the City of Cape Town can start to procure energy and ensure that the economy of the Western Cape and the City of Cape Town are not harmed by ideological obsessions from within the governing party. We are now exploring options today about how we can get that case put into the urgent role given the clear and present danger that now exists to the national grid. In addition, I will also be issuing a directive to all DA-led municipalities to develop and implement a disaster management program to ameliorate against rolling blackouts. Essential services such as bulk water, sanitation services and clinics must be adequately managed and all risks mitigated against. In the medium term, we need to move fast to split Eskom up into energy and supply entities. This would ensure a greater supply of energy to the grid from independent power producers and bring down the cost of electricity for ordinary South Africans by introducing competition into the energy sector. The DA's cheaper electricity bill, which we've already tabled in Parliament, seeks to do just that. It sets out a very clear, very simple and workable alternative to the model here. We come not just to curb the darkness, but we're also lighting a candle. The cheaper electricity bill does precisely that. Where the DA is in government in the Western Cape, we've introduced the electricity energy security game changer, which continues to diversify and conserve energy supply, and we've legalized the production of household production of solar energy for over 22 municipalities. Despite the work that DA municipalities and governments are doing across the country, it's time now for the national government to come to the party because this is such a heavily nationally regulated sector. In times of crisis, leadership must stand up. They must be with the people on the ground. They must be here in South Africa resolving the issues that face us. It's time now for the President to redeem himself for the 22 years of failure. He's been chair of the State-Owned Enterprises Committee since 2014, and it was his task to avoid the problem that we are facing today. It's time for him to return home and take personal charge of this crisis before it spirals even further out of control. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ladies and gents.